Hello and welcome. My name is Michael Marceau. I'm an associate professor at Vermont Technical College, and today what I'd like to do is show you how to configure Adobe Connect. Specifically in this presentation, I'd like to show you how to open a session in Adobe Connect, arrange and change the layout formats, add, delete, and reconfigure the pods, change webcam and microphone settings, learn how to record a session, add a poll, show you how to close a session, and post the recording for students to view later. Note, if you are using an external webcam, Bluetooth microphone, or some other device, it is best to start that before beginning a session in Adobe Connect. The first thing you'll want to do is sign into your Adobe Connect session. On the home screen, we're going to create a new meeting. What I usually do is give the course number for the name. In this particular case, I'll call it VTC 1000. I also use that for the URL extension. Under Summary here, I'll just put New Meeting. Be sure to enter in the start time as well as the date and the duration of the meeting. Under Access, I usually select anyone with a URL can enter the meeting. Since most students do not have Adobe Connect accounts, this one is best. When finished, simply click Next. For select participants, since most students, again, do not have Adobe Connect accounts, you will want to click through this menu and click on Next. Under Send Invitations, I usually send students a note with the URL for the meeting, so I'm going to click Finish here. For the meeting information, you'll notice the URL that the students will link to is included here. I simply cut and paste this and send it to the students in a note. What we'll do now is go ahead and enter the meeting room. This may take several seconds, so just be patient. Okay, our session is now active, and you'll notice there are various windows referred to as pods in Adobe Connect. There's a share window, as well as an attendee list, a notes window, a file share window, and a chat menu here. Since in most cases you'll be presenting to students, you want to maximize the area that you'll be presenting your material in. For this reason, I usually go with the presentation layout. You'll notice this gives the largest area for sharing the computer screen. You'll also notice there are pods for camera, attendee list, and a chat window down here. If you need to use or add any of the additional pods, you can simply click on the pods icon and add them. We'll be showing you how to add a poll a little bit later. Alright, if you're happy with the layout here, you can simply click and remove the selection menu off to the right. If you ever want to change the layout while you're presenting the meeting, simply click on the layout drop-down and select a different configuration layout. The next thing we'll do is set up the webcam. On the drop-down here, you'll notice that you have the option of selecting the camera. Not only selecting the camera, but you can also select the microphone. So I'm going to click on that. On this menu, you'll notice the camera is selected, and it's defaulted to the external webcam that I have plugged in. However, if I want to use the webcam that's on my laptop, I simply activate the drop down and I can select it down here. if you click on the microphone icon, which is just to the left of the camera icon, you'll notice you can select different microphones. For example, I can select to use the microphone that's on the external webcam, or I can use the microphone that comes with my laptop. All right. If you're plugging in or using a Bluetooth microphone, that should appear in the selection list. If it does not appear in the selection list, you'll have to go back and restart your Bluetooth microphone. When done, simply click Close. And now I'm going to allow Adobe Connect to use the webcam. And now to start the webcam, I'm going to click on Start My Webcam. And you have a little preview window of your webcam. You can make any changes at this time, or if you're happy with it, you can click on Start Sharing. And now the students will be able to see you. You'll notice in the bottom right there is a way of pausing the picture if you want to conserve bandwidth, or if you need to step away, you can leave your picture up there. You'll also notice that because of the aspect ratio here, there's a lot of dark area here. So one thing you can do with the pods is you can actually change the size of the pods simply by moving the cursor down to where it changes. There it is. Left click and hold and simply resize it. Alright, I'm going to move the attendee list up. You'll notice I can reconfigure the pods, not only for size but also for location. Like that, and make the chat window a little bit bigger. And now the other thing I'm going to do is, even though the students can see me now, my microphone is not activated. I need to come up here to the little microphone icon and click on Connect My Audio. Now my audio is connected. I can see that the sound is going out not only here, but also down here I have a little microphone icon that highlights the fact that the sound is going out. All right. The next thing I'll do is I'm going to modify my chat window a little bit, and on the drop down here what I can do is I can change the text size. Since it is a little small, I'm going to increase it to 13, and I'm also going to change my chat color to something like blue. Alright, and now I can just type in a little greeting here. Hello students. And when I hit enter, you'll notice that it appears with my name and hello students. This is where students will be typing in their questions and where you'll be seeing them. Alright. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Share My Screen. Now, depending upon the specific peripheral device that you're going to be using, if you're going to be using your PC, you can select a unique application, for example PowerPoint, or you can do a screen share. Since I typically jump between multiple applications, I usually do a screen share just to make life a little bit easier. So I'm going to click on Screen Share here, and you'll notice again it gives me the option of doing the entire desktop, so whatever application I have open on the desktop will be active. I can select a particular application that happens to be running and just feature on that, or tie in on that, or a specific window. Again, in general, I usually use the desktop since I'm using multiple applications. And I'll click on Share. Now, your screen is going to blink a little bit. I always hold my breath when that happens, but it usually comes back, and I get the little message here that says Sharing Full Screen. All right. Now, you may have to switch back to your application. All right, depending upon what you're doing. There it is. Okay. So now you're sharing your screen. So a word of caution, whatever appears on your screen is going to be sent to the students. So if you're reading your emails, just keep that in mind. Okay. Now, you're all ready to begin. Now, you probably want to record your session. So recording a session is very easy to do. If you come on up to the Meetings tab and click on Meeting, scroll on down about halfway, and you'll notice there's an option for recording the meeting. So go ahead and click on that, and it's going to come back and ask you for a name. Now I usually use the course number and follow that with today's date, which is 12/31. Oops. go. Last day of 2012, something like that. And that way the students know, and you as well, when the session was recorded. And I'm going to click OK. Now you'll notice there's a little red dot that appears, as well as a message saying that you are recording the session. With this latest Adobe Connect update, you'll notice that you do have the option of pausing the recording, so that if you take a break during your session or you need to speak with a student, what you can do is just click on the red ball, okay, for the recording, and simply pause the recording. All right, and that way you can talk to the student offline. You can take a 10 or 15 minute break, but make sure that when you come back that you click on resume recording. Okay, so now the session is being recorded, and you can post that later for your students, and I'll show you where to get the link to do that. So now you can go ahead, and whatever you post on your PC screen will go out to the students. But you want to be a little careful, because if students ask questions, they do appear in the chat window down on the left. You will see a little pop-up that appears on your screen. If you're away from this current screen, you will see a little pop-up with a student question, and it will be there for either 3 or 5 seconds depending upon your settings. But what I found is that that is not 100% reliable. So what you might want to do is switch back to this screen after a few minutes and make sure that if there are questions, you can go ahead and address them in a timely fashion. The default here is that when a student does ask a question, they will be typing it in and hitting enter and sending it to you. So you want to make sure that you don't go too long before you check and see if there are questions posted. And the questions will be listed in the order that they're received. Now other students will see those questions, and typically what happens is another student may respond in the meantime, which is kind of a nice feature because it does get a nice chat session going. All right. Another thing I found is that Gordon Reynolds using the clicker. A clicker is not really convenient here. However, we do have the option of adding a poll. So if I come on up to pods here, I do have the option of adding a poll, and I can either add these on the fly while the session is going on, or I can open up the meeting, add the polls, and then simply refer to them later. So I'm going to add a new poll here. Alright, now the students cannot see it yet until I post it, so I'm just going to ask them how many PCs do you own? Okay, so there's my question. Now I do have the option of multiple choice, where there's one correct answer, multiple answers, or a short answer. Typically what I do is just a multiple choice where the students can respond once. So I'm going to say none, 1, 2, or more than 2. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the poll. Okay, and the students can see it now. There we go. So this is what the poll looks like, and the way it will appear on their screen. Now the students will see this, but they won't see the responses except their own. So what I'm going to do is, you do have the option of broadcasting the results. So typically what I do is I broadcast the results so the students can see what everyone is doing and get a feel for the responses here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click 2 on here for my own response so that I can show you what it looks like. Now you also have the option of identifying the poll results by user, and that's by clicking on View Votes here. I would tend to discourage this because in general you want to keep a poll anonymous, and this defeats the purpose, but you can see that the attendee, and I'm the only one on, voted 2. But you don't probably want to do this very often, but in general it does provide a good means for interaction with the students, and it helps to keep them active. So I do encourage the use of polls here, but again, if you want to keep the information anonymous as to who voted and how, then you do want to click on View Votes here. All right. You could also have the option of clearing the results. So if you want to start a new poll, start over again, you can do that, and then when you're done, you can click on Hide the Window. Okay. So that's basically what I want to go over with you as far as setting up Adobe Connect, as far as rearranging the layouts, the various pods here, etc. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close the session out. So the first thing I want to do is, before I do that, you can also stop your screen share. Again, if you want to take a break or you want to look at something but you don't want to have the students see it, you can click on Stop Screen Share. It will stop sharing your screen with the students, and then you can click on it again to re-engage the sharing if you need to. So you've come to the end of your class session. You want to stop the recording. So I'm going to do that. Stop recording. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is thank all the students for attending and inform them that I'm going to be closing the meeting now. So you click on the Meeting tab and come down here to where it says End Meeting and click on that. There's a little End Meeting note here. You can change that if you want to. You can also provide them with an external link if you want them to follow something elsewhere. I'll just go ahead and use the default and then click OK. And now what the student sees is this right here. So thanks them for their participation, and I can also re-engage the meeting if I need to. All right, so that's basically it. However, we do want to see where the meeting is recorded. So on the Home tab, all right, there we go. There's our meeting right here, and now we want to go to Meetings. All right, and here's our meeting right here. We're going to click on that. All right, and here's our meeting. Now, we want to click on the Recordings tab here. All right, and there's our meeting. It also shows the date and time as well as the duration of the recording. And you'll notice that the default access here is private, so that only you are able to view the recording. So the first thing we want to do is select the meeting and click on Make Public, and that way the students will be able to access the meeting. All right. Now we need to get the URL for the meeting, so I'm just going to click on the meeting here now. And now here's the meeting URL. So again, you can cut and paste this and send it to the students, and all they'll need to do to access the meeting is to click on this, and they'll be able to view the meeting. All right, and that's it. Thank you all very much, and hope you found this informative. If you do have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. Thank you very much.